Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. Just allow me few seconds. We'll start very interesting session for today. All right, so we all set to go. Welcome you all in GuiNet technology. Here we learn next generation technologies by experts, and we cover different kind of the technologies like Cisco, Versa, Zscaler, Palo Alto, Viptela, Azure, AWS, Checkpoint, and F5. Okay. So if you're having any question regarding the live training, live session, or you want on demand any classes, recorded video, you can just contact us, write us email, call us, definitely will help you with that. All right. So today, what we are going to cover that is very new, very interesting, and I'm sure about you guys will definitely enjoy this session. Okay. So this is especially made for everyone, so just for the learning and knowledge purpose, because it's having a huge demand in the market, right? People are asking a lot of about this particular technology for which I'm going to start. So without any further delay, let me start the session. Okay. So what we are going to cover today, that is Zscaler. Okay. So you can see the word, it seems having the trademark sign here, and it's known as the Zscaler, and this is the company logo. Okay, so this is completely Zscaler property. Nobody can claim it's belong to anyone. Nobody can use this name. So Zscaler only and only authorized who can use this particular logo and the trademark to just sell their products. Okay, so I'll talk more about the Zscaler, but before I talk to Zscaler, we'll have to understand the background why actually we are going to use the Zscaler. If we're not going to use the Zscaler, then how the life is going to be happen. Okay, so let's understand one by one. Okay, so we'll go by portfolio of the Zscaler. So Zscaler having a lot of products features. So if I go a little bit slide, you can find here Zscaler products. Basically they having Zscaler internet access, that is known as a GIA. That is a very unique product. And the second product is the GPA, that is a Zscaler private access. Today agenda is we'll try to understand about the Zscaler internet access, why we use, what is the purpose of using Zscaler internet access, why if not use the Zscaler internet access, you know, how we having a problem and what kind of the problem it is going to mitigate by the Zscaler internet access. And we try to understand what is the Zscaler private access. I'll make a separate video for this about in more detail what is the Zscaler private access, how it's function. But let's see how we can cover it. If it is possible in today class, I'll cover it. If not, I'll make a different session for you all. Okay. But these are the two key components of the Zscaler, but it's not finished here, the all product list. It's having a Zscaler business to business services, Zscaler cloud protection services. This is the third one, which is quite popular, that is GDE, Zscaler Digital Experience. So it is a wow solution, I simply say. It's help you in live troubleshooting. You make a life very easy. No need to just work on the legacy infrastructure the way where we do the ping, trace, hope, and see where the latency, where the slowness and all. This is the beautiful tool, I can say. You just see every hope, every how your packet is flowing, which hope it is flowing, where is how much latency, where is the delay, which is the node basically is acting as a culprit where the traffic is black holing and traffic is like degrading the services. That everything, every bit and byte you can see in the Zscaler digital experience. So this is the third one basically you'll find in your organizations. Okay, and Zscaler like dissipation technology. So this is also another solution we have, but most usable solution you'll find in your network, that is a Zscaler internet access, Zscaler private access, and this is the Zscaler digital experience platform. So these are the products, right? And what are the platform and what they offer by using these products? So platform they offer is zero trust exchange. This is also trademarked by the Zscaler. Nobody can use this word. Okay. Zscaler client connectors, So we'll discuss in very detail one by one. No need to worry. We'll discuss these all things. Compliances and privacy. So you can say these are the platform where the Zscaler is capable to protect your data, protect your organization, protect your everything, right? So these are about the platform and the products. Now let's move one step back before going to understand the Zscaler solution. So if I move one step back, then we'll try to understand what is the Zscaler, how it is going to use, and what is the key benefit of it. Okay. So let me just go in my open the WordPad. So let me just Microsoft Word board. Let me see. Yeah. Let me clear my canvas. So, okay. So before I explain the Zscaler, we have to understand how the legacy network setup was working. So when I talk about the legacy, that is currently many of the companies are having the legacy setup. And in past, many of the company keep using the legacy setup, but the future is going to be changed. So we'll discuss about the current legacy setup and the past legacy setup, and then we'll talking about the futures where might be we'll try to see Zscaler picture, right? Just we understand the legacy setup. So what are the challenges in the legacy setup and how it was working? So let's say suppose in your legacy setup, we having a data center. This is your big data center, and this is your primary, which is called DC, and this is a secondary that is known as a DR. So one is a DC, one is a DR. Might be it is hosted in the US and it is hosted in the UK. Might be the India also you having some data center. So this is how it is happening. And apart from data center, what you having? You having the branch sites. You having the branch 1, we having the branch 2, we having the branch 3, right? We having the branch 4, we having the branch 5, and might be you having the branch 6 and the 7 as well, which are located in different country. This is in India, might be this is in US, this is in UK, this is Singapore, this is in Germany, right? And this might be hosted in the EMEA region somewhere, right? And Middle East, I can say, and this might be hosted in somewhere, I can say, where, which country? Europe already we covered, right? It might be the Europe region, right? EU region, it is hosted somewhere. So different country, different geography, we having a different branch sites. But might be they have to central reach to data center to access the application which is hosted in the data center. So your application is hosted in these data centers. So what is the solution? Might be you having a two-way to reach this site. One is the internet cloud, one is the MPLS cloud. So this guide might be the internet cloud, and this could be the MPLS cloud. So your all branch is going to connect with the MPLS, right? All are going to connect to the MPLS, and then MPLS is connecting to the data center. This is the one. Same way here also, it required the MPLS. This is how connected, this is how connected, this is how connected, and this is might be this is connected. So this could be the internet. This could, might be it. This having a dual transports. It is connected with the internet as well. You can say this is connected with the internet as well, and this is also connected with data center. This is also connected with the data center. So it could be possible your all branch having a dual ISP, dual links, and they all can be connected with the data centers. So life is good. All looks fine, right? Even we having a redundancy and everything, we are accessing the application. So where is the problem? So let's figure out the problem with this legacy solution. So everything is good. If we are using the MPLS, then we having the L3 VPN solution, right? Which is going to give you the private connections from one of the branch site to the data centers. Make sense, guys? So it's a private connection. Nobody can hack your sessions. Nobody can know what kind of information you are exchanging between the data center to the branch locations. Nobody can understand your communication. It's completely private via the lease line. It's okay, no problem. Now, even you are going on the internet, it's highly secure because over the internet, you having the solution using the IPsec. GRE over IPsec, right? Or might be you having using the site-to-site VPN. Any solution you might be using, right? These are the highly secured solutions. Even you having the internet infrastructure, but you are accessing the application which is hosted in data center, that is quite securely you are accessing that. Life is good. But moving it one step ahead. So this is the legacy setup and how the employee is accessing these applications. That is a key question for you. How the employee is accessing this application. Employee need to come to the branch office. Make sense? If I am the employee, I have to bring my laptop and connect to my branch site. I have to come in my office location, right? And my laptop should be connected in the office LAN. So every office location employee needs to visit the office. Then only they can access the application. I hope you guys understand my point. Let's say suppose I'm the employee of the company. I need to visit my office. I need to plug my laptop that is assigned by my company via the LAN or the WLAN. And from that, I can access my application which is hosted in my data center. Is it possible if I'm sitting my home and I just connect my open internet and I can access this application? Simply, it is not possible. Is it possible? There is the way. I'm not denying, but we'll talk on that way in later stage. How that way and what is the problem on that way also. But just think the way of doing the work. Everyone needs to visit the office, and from the office, probably you can access every resources of your data centers because you are the corporate. You are in the corporate network. Makes sense. Now moving the next step. So if we are accessing the application from the office network, but let's say think your application are start hosting not only the data center, they are start hosting on the cloud as well. So cloud-based application start hosting in your environment. That is Azure. It could be the GCP and it could be the AWS. So these are the cloud providers. Might be we having the many cloud providers like Alibaba also I have, and other also cloud provider we have. So what we have to do again? So might be you hosted some services in the Azure cloud, GCP cloud, and AWS, because nowadays things are getting changed. Application are getting hosted in the AWS cloud, Azure cloud, and cloud-based application. We are moving more application in the cloud instead of the data centers. So again, these branches, whatever we having the branches, they have to connect with the ISP through the MPLS or internet. Hope you guys are understanding my concern. So these all branches need to connect with the another ISP or might be the same ISP, but you have to just extend the connection toward the new data centers, new cloud provider, which is hosted in the Azure or AWS cloud. Make sense? So if you are going to do this, then again, you have to add overhead in your legacy network. You are just adding more and more cost in your network, more and more complexity in your network, right? And it is not much scalable network where you're just expanding a lot of application in regard of the different data centers, different cloud provider, private and public cloud providers, and you're just making the connection through all the cloud provider where the MPLS or the internet, and you're just building the IPsec tunnel. That's like not a good idea, right? So if you are start doing this all solution, might be you just have to pay more. You just have to pay more because your MPLS connection, your lease line connection are quite high cost lease line. So you can think your cost is going to be very high. So that is a one challenge we have. That is your cloud is growing, your application is start hosting in the cloud. So it is not possible, you can just connect every location over the MPLS and internet and make the private connection through all location of your branch offices. So this is one challenge, that is the growing cloud infrastructures. Right? The second challenge was, let's say before COVID, everyone is going to the branch offices. Like everyone is going to the office, branch office, whatever you're having office, and they are connecting their laptop to their LAN and WLAN, and they are accessing the corporate network. But post COVID or during COVID-19, what happened? It changed the way of working. It's completely changed the way of working. Employee has no need to go office. They have to work from home. And if employee have to work from home, then how the corporate policy is going to enforce inside their laptop? By using the home-based broadband internet link. So this is another challenge we have, because you have to work from home. Makes sense, guys? And if you have to work from home, then probably you just have to not able to get same kind of the corporate policies which you keep getting in your offices, where you can just simply plug your network and you can access any of the application. You just have to depend on some different kind of the solution, which basically going to create a secure tunnel from your laptop to your company infrastructures by using your home-based broadband circuit. So how it is going to be happen? So this is going to be happen with the help of the VPN solution. So now we're having the VPN solution, where even you are not in office, you're sitting in the home, you can use it and you can just connect to your company infrastructure. So those VPN solution could be the site-to-site VPNs, remote user VPNs, and there are some many other VPNs also available. You can just search it out and you can just use it. Okay. So when you use the VPN solution, what you have to do? Just you have to install some third-party software based on the VPN provider on your laptop. And that is going to build a secure tunnel with your data center or hub location devices or VPN boxes, which is deployed in the data center. And based on that, you can basically build a secure IPsec SSL based tunnel from your laptop, which is connected over the internet, to your VPN boxes, or might be some VPN solution provided based on the whatever you have purchased. So what are the VPN solution provider we having in market? We having the pure SSL VPN based boxes available in the market. We just use to build the VPN tunnels. We having the Palo Alto Global Protect VPNs. We having the Cisco AnyConnect VPNs. We having a Zscaler based VPN connection that is known as the GPA, Zscaler Private Access. So I'm just giving the overview. There is a lot of solution available in the market. You can find Checkpoint, they're having their firewall, other vendor having their FortiGate having their own VPN solution. So you can use any of the VPN solutions, and they basically help you to connect from your home network to your company network securely. And then you can access any of the application which is hosted in the data center. So that's absolutely fine. Still, it looks there is no problem, right? Because anyhow, we are able to access our application. So what is the problem? Still, we don't know the problem. So let's try to go one step more ahead. So the next step, what we are trying to understand is, once my VPN has been built and I can start using those VPN, but let's say suppose you're having the very large infrastructures. So how many VPN and how many location you are going to build it? I'm just talking about the data centers, but again, your application is hosted in the clouds, different provider, different locations. So are you going to build all location VPNs? Because if you want to access the securely the network, every VPN connection should be available. So is it again a problem? Again, it is going to, because every VPN users having a license. Your company have to put a license. The company have to give some kind of a license and take some license from the respective vendors. So you have to pay. So if you're having a more license, if you're having the more employee, more payment you have to do, right? Your network is grown across the different locations. It is also having to build the different VPNs connections. That is again another problem we have. So end goal, even we having the legacy infrastructures by using the MPLS and the internet, even the VPN solution, we having some scalability issue. We having some cost related issue. We having some complexity related issue. So a lot of issue we have in the legacy infrastructure, which is currently many of the customer are still using the VPN solution. So what next? So next, we are going to talk about the future technologies, which is going to change the game of the IT infrastructure services. So when I talk to change the game, that is going to change the game or change the way of working of the networking plus security. Sorry for that. Security infrastructure, right? So whatever the security and network infrastructure we have, it is going to change the way of the working. So legacy, we having the routers, switches, they connected to each other, they're building the MPLS lease line and everything. And then you just doing your business, doing whatever you want to do, you're doing the success. But now it is going to change the way of working. Then how it is going to change? So if I talk about the Zscaler solution or any other vendor solution, what basically do? What basically they do? So let me just go on the Zscaler slides. Okay, so I talk about the platform and products. Now let's understand how basically Zscaler operates and how basically it is going to mitigate these problems. Okay. So first thing, they use one of the word that is known as zero trust, right? Zero trust exchange. So let me just open the official Zscaler Internet Access document. So they use one of the very powerful word that is known as zero trust exchange. Let me just show that word. Might be it is written somewhere. So I'll try to make you understand what that means. Zero trust exchange. Yeah, you can see zero trust exchange. So what that mean? So if I talk about zero trust exchange, that means the simplified version of that definition is, let's say suppose you having a clients, this is your, might be the PC 1, PC 2, and this is your data center, this is your AWS, this is your Azure cloud, this is your GCP cloud. Sorry for my bad writing, guys, just bear with me. Let me just make you AWS, Azure, right? And GCP. And these are the clients sitting in the home, they're doing work from home. And this might be their branch office. Somewhere here. This is also branch office. So I'm talking about zero trust exchange. Okay. GTE. So Zscaler built something zero trust exchange cloud. Zero trust exchange cloud. In this zero trust exchange cloud, whatever the communication is happening from this PC, these branches to data center, AWS, Azure, GCP, that all are going to be securely exchanged. Whatever the communication in regard of the routing, segmentations, security, posture management, web URL filtering, your web gateway secure web gateway functionality, whatever you can think, they all are going to taken care by the Zscaler Zero Trust Exchange world or cloud. So they give you one of the platform from where if you transfer any of the data from one source to another destination, they will take a guarantee your data, your communication would not be manipulated, not be altered, not be hacked by someone sitting in the man in the middle. They are going to take a guarantee. It's include your end-to-end solution, your entire security portfolio, whatever you can think, including the data leak preventions, browser isolation feature they are going to give you, your posture management, whatever the communication is happening between the devices, what kind of data, what kind of the browser they are using, what kind of the cookies, what kind of file, everything they are going to monitor. What kind of the URL they are using, what kind of the file they are downloading from the internet, what kind of file they are uploading on the internet. They are just going to give you one of the ecosystem by which you can, without worry about anything, you can exchange your data. So that is the beauty of the Zscaler feature. So how it is going to happen? So if I read it about the slide, I have a lot of content. If I talk, you can see in this slide cloud plane, they having a lot of hardware and data center to build this zero trust exchange. I just use the common word that zero trust exchange, but to achieve this zero trust exchange, it's having a lot of components. We'll try to cover those components in the nutshell in the later state. But if I talk about little bit how basically it is going to happen, so you can see here in zero trust exchange, we having a lot of connectivity, Azure, AWS, internet, users, cloud data center. So all connection you having in the different type of the service provider, your work from home user, your cloud-based data center, in-house data center, they all are going to be securely exchanged between one node to another node. Your business to business, your end user to business, your data center to data center, private to public cloud, public to private cloud. So this is how it is going to be happening. Now moving next. Okay. So if I'm going on the official document of the Zscaler, you can see here Zscaler Internet Access. This is the product we are talking right now, and that is a trademark again. Define safe, fast internet and the SaaS access with the industry's first and only artificial intelligence powered security service edge platform, SSE. Security Service Edge Platform. So if you heard about SSE in the Zscaler, just think about the Security Service Edge Platform. So what is a Security Service Edge Platform? That you just think about the Zero Trust Exchange, where whatever data you are transferring from one location to another, Zscaler having a responsibility to maintain the confidentiality of the data, integrity of the data, whatever the policy you enforce, that should be user should be restricted for that policy. According to that policy, that is going to be enforced to the user, right? So this is how it is going to happen. So they are talking the same story which I just covered, right? Legacy network security has become ineffective in the cloud and mobile first world. This is the same thing I talked beginning of the session about the legacy. They are going to talk in this same architecture definition in this particular definition. So what basically they are trying to say here in this convey message, they are talking in legacy network how they are designed. They having the hub and spoke architecture, right? Where my headquarter having the all application and data center hosted in our branch location are going to access the application which is hosted in the hub locations. And that is your corporate data center, and you can attack surface as limited. That means if you're going to the one location to another location, you just start having the very limited attack surface because you're having the very private network, very dedicated lease line. So people cannot attack too much to you. But now the way of working is getting changed day by day. So your attack surface is going to increasing. Like you are hosting the application in different cloud providers. You are hosting the application different location. Your user is hosting different locations. Not you are going to office. So your attack surface has been increased. So if your attack surface has been increased, so that means there is a high chance you can lose their security parameters. It's having the vulnerability attacks, ransomware attacks, it's having the malware, phishing, anything could be happen, right? So basically, to mitigate this problem, Zscaler Internet Access is giving one of the platform that is zero trust exchange platform where you can exchange the data from one location to another location, one source to another source destination, which is basically fully secure. So what's the benefit of the Zscalers if I'm going to use it? So first benefit, it is going to prevent cyber threats and the data loss with the artificial intelligence. So when I use the word the artificial intelligence, that means they're having a sandbox capabilities. They can track the zero-day attacks, even any signatures, any virus has been newly created. Okay, so Zscaler having that machine learning artificial intelligence capability, it can capture, it can understand the advanced threats, and they can block it right away. No need to worry about that. So you can see here, protect your organization against the advanced threats with the artificial intelligent powered cyber threat and the data protection service, right? In the real time update shows 300 trillion daily threat signal from the world largest security cloud. So wow, it's simply awesome. 300 trillions. They having the signals reduction across the worldwide security clouds, right? It give you the unmatched user experience. You never realize I'm working from the home or offices. You having the same kind of the feelings. You get the fastest internet for the SaaS application because they are maintain the end-to-end security. They provide the network. Like if I talk the cloud exchange network, where you're having a very reliable network connectivity, just connect to nearest gen enforcement node and data centers, and further they will make a responsibility to connect your data center or other branch locations. Okay, if you want to do that, so that is a quite fast. And your security enforcement is also going to be very fast, because in the legacy, everything needs to be checked as per your legacy design. The firewall will do their work, your router will do their work, and then the proxy will do their work. But here, everything is going to work together because you're having a zero trust exchange. So 40% faster of the security enforcement is going to be in place in your the legacy network. Okay. Sorry, in the Zscaler network. Just give me 1 second, guys. All right. So this is how basically it is going to do that. Also, they are talking about the modernize your security architectures. So they are definitely, whatever the legacy security architecture you have, it is going to give you the new blueprint, new modernizations of the security architecture, which is like basically 90% of your cost complex in the slow application with the fully cloud native zero trust platform. So it is going to help in terms of the your costing, your complexity, and some slowness related issue over your legacy network infrastructure. This is how the key features we have in the Zscalers, right? So how basically the GIA is going to further give you the more benefits on that. So this is GIA, Zscaler Internet Access. So what's basically do? So theoretically, we're having a lot of thing to understand about the GIA, but because I'm the working professional, I know how this is going to work. So I'll give you the very realistic example how basically GIA is going to be enforce you in the real network infrastructures. So what basically we have to do? So we're having a lot of features you can see here in GIA. They are talking that zero trust exchange. They are talking the best in class, consistent security or today hybrid folks, lighting and fast access with the zero infrastructures. No need to worry about the zero infrastructure, artificial intelligence powered protection from the world largest security clouds. They are talking about that. So if you guys want to read, you can just read it. I can give you the documentation. No worry. CASB feature, that is a quite unique. Data loss prevention, right? DLP. CASB is like cloud security broker. CASB, like even whatever the communication you are doing based on the cloud-based application. CASB is going to play a very vital role, right? So it is going to detect what kind of data transfer you are going to do, any data leaks you are going to do. If it is found any malicious, any unauthorized access, that is definitely going to stop you, and the threats, it is going to stop you. It is make sure your environment is very secure and meeting all compliance, and you are not doing any wrongdoing things for your accessing while accessing their cloud applications, right? Secure web gateway, that's if you are accessing any of the web URL, like web URLs, which is hosted in somewhere in the internet. So it is also going to track and make sure whatever the communication you are doing, that is quite secure, quite reliable, and whatever the URL you are accessing, that should be allowed on the secure web gateway. Okay, if something is not allowed and you are just trying to use, that is definitely going to catch by the Zscaler GIA proxy, and it is going to block. So I use the word is a proxy. So we basically call GIA as a proxy, Zscaler Internet Access Proxy. That is a cloud-based proxy. So there's two type of proxy. You might be heard about the Blue Code proxy and some McAfee proxy. We're having a lot of proxy that is going to use in-house proxy. But Zscaler GIA is acting as a cloud-based proxy. So this is the like real definition I'm coming. Till now, I was just talking about the preview of the legacy network, some definition advantage of the Zscaler products about the GIA, but now it is actually acting as a proxy. So I'll keep continue on this particular proxy thing in later stage, but let me just little bit go downside about the theoretical things. Okay. So these are the like, you have to remember, you have to understand how the secure web gateway is going to work, how it is going to be configured in the Zscaler particular portal. So if you log into the Zscaler GIA portal, you can find such kind of the dashboards, okay, where you can see the different application behavior, URL category, cloud application classes, a lot of things you will find after login. And if you want to see some kind of the application status, like you want to do the monitoring and all client connector status, you can just find out from here, live logs and everything, you can do that. So I've just taken this snaps, just show you how the configuration, DLP, everything can be do, how the application looks like on Zscaler portal once you having the access. And this is the Zscaler application client connector application, where we having the private access and the internet security and the digital experience. I'll come on this slide later, but let me just little bit go on the that slide which I was just talking. So Zscaler is also named as a leader of the Magic Gartner. So Magic Gartner is like one of the research-based, organization. They keep doing the research on the different services, different applications, different vendors, and they provide there the inputs how basically this vendor is performing in terms of the services and the products and all, and then they define the ranking. So as per the Gartner, Zscaler is the market leader, right? It's no one is like near about the Zscaler. Palo Alto is trying, some other vendor is trying, but still Zscaler is leading the market. They're having awesome products, right? The same thing, they're having a feature about the cloud firewalls, IPS intrusion prevention system, cloud sandbox, digital experience monitoring, AI powered cloud browser isolations. These all features already available with the Zscaler cloud, right? So how basically zero trust exchange come in a picture and how the things is going to be work. So try to understand this way, okay? So let's say suppose you are the user, right? And your company have taken the Zscaler solution, then how it is going to be happen? So this is the very important. So basically I'm the user. So first thing, I need one laptop. So this is my laptop, right? And this is me, okay? So I'm the user. I need to access DC application, right? Application is hosted in DC. My application is hosted in the cloud, that is my AWS cloud. My application is hosted my Azure cloud. Right? These are the different providers. So what I need some solution who can provide me zero trust exchange. It's not the ISP. You can think about the ISP, but just think it is zero trust exchange. So what that means, so if any communication is happening through this zero trust exchange via this user, then it would be fully secured. Now I'm going to my previous slides. So you can say this is my zero trust exchange. Okay. And in this zero trust exchange, we integrated our ZIA, that is a Zscaler Internet Access. We integrated our ZPA. Still, I didn't talk about ZPA, and also integrated our ZDX, that is a Zscaler Digital Experience. Okay. So these all three features is integrated with my zero trust exchange. So that means whatever the communication is going via this zero trust exchange, that is fully secure. Nobody can even understand what kind of the communication is going through my cloud, and this cloud can understand whatever data you are transferring, and if it found anything wrong, it is going to block it. Make sense? Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me have water. So next, so hope you guys understand till now this story, but how it is going to work. So now I'm going on this my slide, and in this slide you can see some kind of the applications. You can just think about this. So let me just minimize. Okay, this is one of the diagram. You can just think about this. Okay. So in this diagram, basically what you are seeing, let me just little bit make it more bigger size so you guys see that. So this is one diagram you can see here. And this diagram, this is a lightweight software installed on the laptop. So this is the first thing you require. If you don't have this software installed in the laptop, that is known as a client connector laptop, client app, okay, you cannot achieve the Zscaler zero trust features. You cannot connect the user to get all the advantage, whatever one of the Zscaler can get to accessing in terms of the cloud-based application, data center-based application. So basically, you have to connect this application. So before connecting, what you have to do on this user machine, you have to install GCC app, right? We call GCCR, Zscaler Client Connector app. So this application, which I'm showing right now, this must be installed on the user computer. So once you get your office laptop, your IT team will install this app. So once you install this app, you are going to connect to the Zscaler private access. You can connect to the internet security, that is the ZIA, and the digital experience service as well. So I told three features, basically majorly it is using by the majority of the organization, and this is the key thing. So you just have to experience, like you just have to understand. So one is the Zscaler internet access, one is the private access, one is the digital experience. So here you can see in the digital experience, whatever things we have, that is going to give you complete overview of the network, how network is behaving, how loss latency jitter having in my network, how the graphics looks like. Probably we can see in the digital experience. Internet security, they are just going to maintain the security parameters, whatever we just have discussed here. What are the security parameters we have? Just cloud sandbox, cloud firewall, digital experience monitoring, that is come in the ZDX, right? Zscaler, simplified management, CASB, DLP, secure web gateway. So every features, whatever you think was a security point, it is going to achieve by this particular internet security. Now the GPA is private access. So it is something, let's say suppose you having some application hosted in your data center and you are sitting on the home and you just want to access those applications which is hosted in your data centers. So GPA is going to build a private VPN connections similar to VPN connections, whatever we have. And from that VPN connections, we can connect to their client connectors node, which is deployed in your data center. And after connecting to the client connector node, with the help of the client connector, Zscaler client connector, you can access all the internal application. So how the traffic flow is going to happen? So GPA basically is nothing. Let's say, let me just use this slide. You can understand in greater way. So just think about this. So this is my user, remote user sitting in here, right? They're having the GCC app installed here. By using those GCC app, they can connect to the GCC Zscaler client connector, and from their GCC client connector, they are going to enforce the all policy which is hosted in your data center, and now you can access the private application which is hosted in your data centers. So your Zscaler private access is going to act as a VPN. Like you just think about the global protect, right? Just think about the Cisco AnyConnect VPN, but it's having some great feature if you compare to them. Okay, why? Because it will cross the information from the zero trust exchange, and then it will land to the client connector which is hosting the data center or central location, and then it will going to build the connectivity through their internal network, right? But additionally, they are fully integrated with the ZIA and the ZPA. All the things we can interconnect them. So this is how it is going to be happen. So moving next. So now hope you understand about this feature. We having this client connector need to be installed on the user client machine, and once this client connector is installed on the user client machine, then probably we can have a possibility we can connect these all three platforms. Now moving again to the my original PPT of this Zscaler. Here you can see. So now once this user, basically this user having the client connection, they are going to connect with your company. Might be this is your site, right? So this is your site. So they are going to connect with your firewall. Might be you deploy the firewall, or might be simple router. It could be deploy simple router to your branch location. So your client request is going to forward to the router. And once it is going to forward to the router, what router basically do? This GCC, the connection of the GCC Zscaler client connector will try to form a tunnel with the nearest gen, whatever available Zscaler enforcement node, right? So they are going to form a tunnel to the nearest zone. So your traffic will come from this laptop, it will land to the router or might be the firewall, and from there they will go to the gen. Gen will verify the connection based on the IPsec GRE tunnel, whatever the communication you build, they will verify the connection and all. And then finally they will set up the connection with the destination address on the base of the actual source. So whatever the source it is coming, might be it is coming from the private source 192.168.10.10. Its Zscaler proxy is going to be gen. Might you just think about gen is equal to proxy. It is going to intercept that particular communication, and they are going to build a communication. Might be it is just wanted to talk with the Google application. So they are just going to communicate with the google.com on behalf of the user, and in regard of that, whatever the communication is happening from the Google to the gen, they will make sure they will verify each and every security parameters like the correct URL, virus, malware, phishing, ransomware, everything they are going to zero-day attack. And then if they are happy, they are fully satisfied with this connection, secure web gateway feature they are going to apply, then they are just going to redirect connection to the end user. Hey, now you're good to the have the communication with the Google Cloud. So on behalf of this, they will be the one connection with Google Cloud, and then they are going to reply to the user. And then this is how it is going to be force the connection between the Google to the client user. Hope it is clear to everyone. So now, if you see here, we having the Microsoft Office 365, we having the inline DLP CASB, ACI, API CASB, right? We having the AIA driven inline concept inspections. So we having a lot of things here. And everything, whatever you are discussing, they are doing some kind of the activity. So these are the data protection. If you want to do, you have to use the inline DLP, CASB, and API CASB. If you want to do the local internet breakout, that's the one I want to tell. For the any Office 365 application you want to access, any SDWAN services you want to access, you want to build the WAN solution over the internet, you can just use this way. And if you want to do on the cyber threat protections, just you have to use the TLS 9 SSL base of the content inspection feature. Then you just have to use the threat prevention protections and GIA user and the workload, that is secure internet and SaaS access. That is the purely for the internet secure web gateway and the any of the SaaS application which is going to access by you based on the cloud data centers. So whatever we have, that is basically going to support you, going to help you to make you secure connection from the any user to the any of the destination address. Similarly, you can see here, they are talking about the GPA. So GPA, I told you, when I talk about the GPA, Zscaler private access. So the primary goal of the GPA, because we are talking about Zscaler, so without talking the GPA, it is not going to complete. So GPA is a primary goal. It is going to build a Zscaler private access from your user machine. The same thing what I'm talking, they're just going to build a private access connection with the client connector. And after that, the client connector, they will communicate to the all hosted application which are hosted in the data centers. So let's think in this way where it is. So this is might be my data center applications. So you can see this is my user. They're just going to connect to the GPA connector, right? So they are just going to connect to the GPA connector. Might be it's a public cloud and might be your data center cloud. And then after, this user will be able to access all the internal applications. So it looks like the VPN connection you are going to form, similar to the global protect. And then after it is going to access the internal application. So GIA is the like pure internet based application access, pure SaaS based application access. So if you want to go on the internet proxy, right? Secure like internet gateway, then you just have to use the GIA. So any internet based application, internet app, cloud app, right? Any SaaS application, anything you want to go on the internet that is related to the cloud or pure internet, that's just you have to use the Zscaler internet access. But if you want to access the any of the internal application, you just have to use the GPA, Zscaler private access, where the user needs to connect the Zscaler connector, and then further they will build the communication with the internal application. So this is how it is going to build a connection. So this is about the GPA. Now the third component, that is a Zscaler digital experience. This is something where you can visualize the real live network traffic, which is keep going from your network from in to out to in, and you can see what is the loss, latency, and jitter in your network. And probably based on that, any user, any device, any app, any locations, that everything you are going to capture, anything you are going to capture by using this ZDX application. So you can see ZDX, it's all about the monitoring tool, just for the troubleshooting, GIA for the internet breakout, secure gateway, SaaS access, your cyber threat protections, data protection. If you want to do, then you have to use the GIA. It's a pretty simple, guys. You just have to memorize this all. If you want to achieve this all features, just use the GIA. If you want to make the private access of your application, which is hosted in the data center, just use the GPA. Okay, so you can see GPA used for the workload for the secure private access, remote app access without VPNs. So no VPN is going to be required. The GPA itself acting as a VPNs, they will build the private connections using the Zscaler Trust Exchange, but it is not VPNs, right? And direct app access, no backhaul, that is also going to support, right? So everything is going to be supported by him. And the final, for the all monitoring and troubleshooting, we can use the ZDX. So these are the three components you should know if you are working in the Zscaler domain. And there is a very wider scope. I'm just telling you, it is just a beginning and it is just a brief. But if you go inside of the Zscaler, it's the ocean. I can say it's the ocean. Up, you can go inside and you can never know the depth where I am in, right? Because it's too deep, too deep. Lot of thing inside of the Zscaler, lot of thing inside of Zscaler. So try to understand little basic things and try to build your concept. Then probably you can try to make a logic how things are interconnected to each other and how they are making a zero trust fabric. Okay, zero trust exchange fabric. This is the most important. So you can see use cases like if you want to just protect your cyber threat and ransomware protection, then you just have to move your legacy infrastructure to Zscaler. Secure hybrid workforce, right? If you are just wanted to make sure your employee can work from home and offices, in that case you want to just achieve this all, you can just use the Zscaler. That is also possible, right? And data protection you want to do, then use the Zscaler infrastructure like ZIA, ZPA, infrastructure modernization if you want to do, can do that. And here is a zero trust exchange ecosystems, what I was talking. So anything you are exchanging with identity management, endpoint protection management, branch routers, any SDWAN routers, security operations, SaaS, cloud providers, everything is going to process via then passes via the zero trust exchange APIs, and their all connection could be the secure. Okay. And what all feature they are going to provide? URL filtering, SSL inspection, DNS security, file control, bandwidth control, advanced threat protection, inline data protections, out of band protections, intrusion prevention, dynamic risk path access and security policy, malware analysis, DNS filtering, web isolation, correlated threat insights, application isolation, digital experience monitoring, that is a DXC, what is like application isolation, workload to internet communication protection. So you can see lot of feature we have in the Zscalers. These all feature it is going to provide. So you can think how complex it is to understand the Zscaler, right? But I'm not saying it is too complex. If you can start working on Zscaler and try to understand it step by step, you can easily understand how things is going to work. Not by work, you can easily understand. Okay, and it's a very having the huge demand in the market nowadays for the Zscaler. Okay, guys. So you can say now platform feature, flexible connectivity. They are going to give flexible connectivity. How Zscaler kind GCC, what I talked about. GRE over IPsec, I talk. Browser isolation, I talk. Proxy chaining. What is a proxy chaining? So this is something like one proxy is sending traffic to another proxy, right? You have taken the one proxy and you just send that traffic to another another proxy. They will further carry out to the destination. So this is how it is going to be supported. So Zscaler support the forwarding traffic from one proxy server to another proxy, but this is not recommended in the production environment. So this is also possible. So might be if you're going in the interview, so might be it'll pass. What is the browser isolations? What is the proxy chaining? So this is something like beautiful feature and you should know. So if I talk about the browser isolation, it is like simply, you can connect any of the devices. Like if I talk about the not corporate, just you think about the you having your own laptop on mobile, right? And you just want to access the company portals, right? Company data center based application. So even that is possible. You can use the edge browser, any of the browser that is going to fully isolated for the company purpose. None of the other things is going to open on that browser except the company related things, or might be if it is opening the some other things also, that is a fully protected from the browser itself. So you can say seamlessly connect any BUID, bring your own devices or manage devices with the integrated cloud browser isolation, right? So this is going to isolate your browser. What are the Chrome, Edge, whatever browser you have, it is going to open a private and guest browser where you just have to log into the browser portal by giving the username and password, and then or by the two-factor authentication, and then you can connect your application. That is also going to give you the full security feature. Pack file, It is just used to send the pack file, like send traffic to zero trust exchange with the pack file to device without the GCC. So if you don't have this GCC client connector installed in your laptop, like I told you, user must have to install this application, right? But in case, suppose this user doesn't even have this application installed, this client connector is not installed in the user machine, still we having the way to send the direct traffic to the Zscaler, gateway by using the pack file. This is also going to support by the Zscaler. So if you're not having the Zscaler client connector installed, then you just use the pack file. It is also going to send the traffic to the zero trust exchange. That means the Zscaler enforcement node traffic. They will directly send that from the client machine. So this is also possible. GRE over IPsec, that is a build from the any of the location router firewall, whatever you have. So by using that, you can transfer the traffic. Zscaler client connector, that is going to install forward traffic from zero trust exchange via the lightweight agent that supported the Windows, Mac OS, iOS, iPad, Android, and the license. This is the same software what I was showing. That is lightweight software we called. It is going to install in the user machine. By using this, it is going to be supported by the your laptop and other applications, iOS based, Android based, and they are just going to help you to forward the traffic toward the Zscaler zero trust exchange. So you can see there is a cloud delivered deployment. It's option having a key compliance they're having. So a lot of things they're having. GIA additions you can see here. GIA having the like secure web gateway, that transformation, ELA business, lot of things we can just take based on like you want to take for the licensing and all. Everything is available for this particular product. So this is all from the Zscaler for the introduction. Okay, lot of things we have to cover in it, right? To be honest, these module GIA itself is a very big module, and you can just realize how much feature we have. And if we are just trying to do this all features, it is a huge, right? So let's see how we are going to continue our study on the Zscaler. So thank you for today. I believe it is just for the introduction, and just I wanted to give you the basic idea of the Zscaler products. So I hope it is good for the everyone, and we can connect someday later, and we'll try to understand a bit more about this. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care.